I'm from Kazakhstan. I was born there and lived until I was 6. And then I'm 17 years old. And right now I live in Korea because my dad works there as an ambassador of Kazakhstan. We have a really high view of American education. That is why I came here. My dad wanted me to get the best education that's available in the world, and that's why I came to Lawrenceville, and I'm going to MIT next year, so
Congratulations.
thank you. Because of internet and just awareness of life in the US, I wasn't really that shocked when I came here, but still just little things like how much people smile. Like I think everyone that would come here from Kazakhstan would notice that people like smile here a lot more, like when you're just passing by on the street and you see strangers just smiling at you. That would seem kind of weird, but I'm very used to it, and it's a good thing. Russian is a big part of our lives. So, for example, I always went to Russian schools, and the language of instruction was Russian. But we had to take classes in Kazakh so that we don't forget our native language. When I tell people that I'm from Kazakhstan, they mention Borat, and that's like a big stereotype. I have to admit, I laughed. I laughed because it was a really funny movie, but everything that they said, everything that they did, like even the actors, even the just minor actors, none of them were Kazakh. He was obviously not Kazakh, and then just none of it was about my country, so that was a bit offensive. But I guess with the help of that movie, people here at least know that Kazakhstan is a country that is not in Russia or something like that.
I don't think so. I mean, when I first came here, everyone spoke to me about Cool Runnings. I personally do not think that Cool Runnings is an accurate representation of what Jamaican people are like. I remember there's one character who has like an egg that he carries around with him everywhere. It's like his lucky egg. And I just thought that made him look so ignorant. I was like, no, we don't do that. We're not. I mean, we're superstitious to an extent, but we're not. I mean, that's just crazy and outlandish. Rastafarians with dreadlocks, and we all smoke marijuana. And I'm gonna say that up front because it's something I want to like dispel. It's not really true. I think in the last census, like less than 1% of Jamaicans actually profess themselves to be Rastafarians. That is, believing in like the Rastafarian religion.
Definitely that all Jamaicans are kind of these really laid back, chill, people that don't really care about much and just kind of, because you find Jamaicans in all spheres of life, sports, business world, historians, we have Dr. Clark here, she's a history teacher. She has her doctorate degree, and just I guess for people to take us more seriously at times, because whenever you see them anywhere or you hear the stereotypes, it's kind of like, yeah, Jamaica chill, Jamaica me crazy, it's like it's not exactly you get the sense that people don't take us seriously.
Really important. I mean, when I first came here, I still went out and looked for my Jamaican food, and I still had to call home a lot. I mean, I personally came from a very close-knit family, but preserving the culture is always important because you have to remember your roots when you go away. And so I frequently play my Jamaican music, reggae music, and I think the house, my Cleve house now, I guess kind of speaks a little bit of patois from hearing me. And I try to continue to speak that way, especially when I see other Jamaicans, because it's like a part of home that I carry with me. It's something that makes me unique, and so you always want to keep that close to your heart.
Yeah, like any third world country, it has its problems in terms of poverty or living conditions, but I feel like the places that people do tend to see when they visit Jamaica are the tourist resorts, and they see the beautiful white sands, they see the the hotels and the nice whatever it is that they have on display. The food is always genuine, the people are always genuine, but I would appreciate it a lot more if people actually took the time to go into the communities, go into local markets, actually understood what everyday Jamaican life was, because I think it would really change their perspective.
Of most? I guess the land itself and the location, and I get the feel of it. I don't know, to pinpoint one thing that I love the most about it, it's like you can't separate one without, it's like it's nothing without the whole. If you get what I'm saying, like if you just had the country without the people and without the you know, like the culture, then nothing's really special on its own, but it's a combination of everything. But I guess one thing that's really important to me is the people, because no matter where you go, if you see someone that's Jamaican, there's that automatic feel of home, that they understand you and that they're going to get you jokes and they're going to get like what you say. And coming here, people ask me to repeat myself a lot, so I guess the one thing that really stands out for me are the people.
Amazon doesn't deliver to Lithuania. I mean, we're kind of cut out of this huge thing. eBay doesn't either. I mean, we really cannot buy so much stuff online. That's why we're probably not as much addicted, maybe, to shopping online. But at the same time, we are kind of cut off. Another thing that you notice when you come to the United States, there are no old cars here. If you go to Lithuania, there are a bunch of old cars. I mean, it's like from 1980, maybe 1990, something like that. Here, they're probably banned. And fuel there is much more expensive than here. So don't really complain about high fuel prices, because they're not that high. I was talking with my grandparents, and they said that it was better to live under the control of the Soviet Union, just because everybody had a job then. And at the moment, unemployment rate is about 14 to 17%, which is crazy. But I don't know. I think that they were partially brainwashed by the Soviets, because propaganda was everywhere. I mean, like, you can Google just some simple posters. Stalin is the best, Lenin is the children's father. To be honest, I kind of think they're probably a little bit stupid. I mean, because we base our opinion from the Jersey Shore, Jackass, MTV, any type of Hollywood movie where everybody's fighting or making out. So She Sells Seashells by the Seashore. I mean, it's not gonna be the same thing, but like kind of same idea, just like many different sounds. The one that I can come up with would be and that means good men in good woods are drinking good beer very well, and just keeps on going. That's like half of it, what I just said. What could I tell about Lithuania? You should go visit Lithuania.
Whatever piece of news you see in the news or in the newspapers, magazine, TV, whatever, they always associate Middle East with some kind of crazy terrorist. I mean, that's just like a 0.1% of the Arabic population. In every culture, in every religion, you have extremists. That's a given. It frustrates me that the American media shows the extreme side of my country, of my culture, my background, my region. It's very frustrating. I mean, why don't they show the normal people? Why don't they show people who are just as sophisticated, just as educated, just as intelligent, and maybe even more intelligent? I don't know. But you don't see that. You don't see that. Obviously, after 9/11, there was the whole association of Islam with terrorism. Not just Islam, but also so many things that people generalize. What's going on in the Middle East right now is this wave of anti-government sentiment. We saw that in Tunisia, we saw that in Egypt, we're seeing that in Syria, Bahrain, Saudi, Yemen. The tendency for Americans is to think that all those countries are going through the same thing, which is the people are against this one person and they want them out. In Bahrain, that's not the case. Bahrain is a Muslim country. In Islam, you have two denominations, Sunni and Shia. So fundamentally, there are agreements, but when you come to the small stuff, they disagree. People in the Middle East, especially from neighbor countries, and you know this, like Saudi, Qatar, Iran, those countries, they have very strict interpretation of the Quran. They have a very strict Muslim lifestyle. I honestly think that Bahrain is, relative to the neighbor countries, is the most liberal country in the region. And I love that about my country.
I'm from Bulgaria, Stara Zagora, which is right in the middle of the country.
I'm from Dobrich, which is near the Black Sea right here.
Politics is definitely my favorite topic, particularly politics in Eastern Europe. Well, as everyone almost knows, Bulgaria was under a communist regime, and it was really under the influence of the Soviet Union before 1989. Today, though, we really don't notice influence from Russia at home. Today, the sentiments are that we are trying to kind of separate ourselves from them. And definitely there are not a lot of political alliance currently between the Russian government and the Bulgarian government. We're really not working with them. We've tried to reach out to other countries, and we speak almost the same language. Like, our languages are very, very similar.
Could you understand Russian?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't think, and our cultures are pretty similar because we're both like Slavs.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't say tension in general. Like, we would consider them as like
Friends.
friends.
Definitely.
Yes.
I think that
But on political level, we just.
But there would be political differences and.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.